What's going on, everybody? DJ Dr Funkenstein here from Uncle Jam's Army and KLIQ Internet Radio. And I would like to welcome you personally to the Saturday night old school show. Right now, we're going to go old school on this, but we're going to really mellow it out, okay? So this is what I want everybody that's listening right now to do. I want you guys to, hey, get in your best room or whatever. If you're at the house kicking it, or if you're in the office or whatever, I want this Saturday night to be smooth. I want it to be mellow, and at the same time, I want it to be bumping. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want all my easy listeners out there, along with the old schoolers and the funketeers, to just relax your mind for a moment, okay? And we got word that recently a major player in the music business, that's old school, has, left us. And that is Mr. Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds. Man, this man, let me tell you right quick, this man was so magnificent when it came to music. A lot of people said he was ahead of his time. Okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the show off with one of his cuts. Okay? So this one is called Mysterious Vibes. So like I said, I just want everybody to just relax with the good doctor, okay? Because sometimes in life, you do got to, relax, take a couple of steps back and really, get some thoughts out and everything. And, if you with your girl, or, fellas, if you with your girl, ladies, if you with your man, just kick back on the music that I'm about to bump for you, okay? And just relax on the Holy Mothership with DJ Dr Funkenstein of Uncle Jam's Army and KLIQ Internet Radio. Hey, let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the Saturday night old school show.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Yeah, I just want to say, rest in peace to my OG DJ Dr Funkenstein. This is a picture that will go down in infamy. You got Alonzo, we got the homie Class One, you got Kit Kat, myself, DJ Silky D, Dr Funkenstein, and Siddiqui. They all came to the premiere set in the West sometime back. And yeah, man, I wouldn't have been able to do this project set in the West without DJ Dr Funkenstein. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just I said let me hop on here real quick and just give my OG his flowers, which he already knew. He knew how much I appreciated him. For those who don't know, DJ Dr Funkenstein is pretty much the main focus of my documentary that I had produced, Set in the West, the Genesis of LA hip hop. That's the name of the documentary, and you guys can check it out. It's on Tubi, it's on Amazon, it's on YouTube. In fact, let me pull it up, because I'm gonna play some excerpts of the project so that y'all could get a better understanding of who Dr Funkenstein is and was. But no, Dr Funkenstein is one of the original members from Uncle Jam's Army. If you are familiar with West Coast hip hop, you know about Uncle Jam's Army. Hell, that you got people in the industry like Liar Cohen, who went on a Breakfast Club and gave it up about Uncle Jam's Army, because he was very impressed on how we were doing things on the West Coast, and he gave it up to Roger Clayton. He gave it up to Uncle Jam's Army. Roger Clayton's the founder of Uncle Jam's Army. The man to the right that you could barely see, that's Lonzo Williams. He's the pioneer, he's the godfather of West Coast hip hop. And he sat with me, of course, and gave me a lot of game. But he and Roger Clayton were the ones who pretty much started up the West Coast hip hop scene for the most part. Him and Roger used to work together, but they were like frenemigos. They were friends, but they kind of were, they were rivals. Roger had his own thing, though. Roger wanted to start promoting pretty much not clubs. Roger wanted to start with house parties and just do his DJ thing. He worked, I believe, at Kenny Shoes, and him and Lonzo worked there. And they both were DJs. They both were mobile DJs. And they basically expanded their business. Lonzo pretty much just ended up doing his own thing at a particular club, Dudo's, and then he moved on to Eve After Dark in Compton. Roger, on the other hand, he was doing house parties, and then he started doing events at Alpine Village. If you're from LA, you know Alpine Village. And eventually he ended up selling out, or they ended up not selling out, but he rented the Memorial Sports Arena, big stadium, a big venue where I don't know how many people came, but they pretty much showed up and showed out for Uncle Jam's Army. So Uncle Jam's Army, though, was basically the premier West Coast promotion / DJ clique. They were just a bunch of DJs, and they used to just come and spin, and they'd get things popping. This is the mid 70s all the way up to the 80s. Sorry, y'all, I got something in my throat. I gotta give me some water, but I'm not crying or nothing like that. Dr. Funkenstein, though, he started with Uncle Jam's Army in 1977, and he was one of the DJs from Uncle Jam's Army. And yeah, he transitioned yesterday. Of all times, on the birth date of hip hop. So hip hop started in 73. So hip hop is what, 52, 53. And that's when he made his transition. So yeah, I just said, let me get on here and just kind of do a commemoration to my guy, Dr. Funkenstein. Everybody loved Dr. Funkenstein. I just played in the beginning the intro to one of his shows when one of the members from the Blackburn was the guy. I know Jag knows who I'm talking about. Donald Byrd, right? That was the week that Donald Byrd passed away. I was producing his shows back in the day, so that's how I got to know him. But I got to know him because I had met him in 2013, and I'm like, oh man, you one of the original DJs from Uncle Jam's Army. He's like, yeah. And I said, hey man, I always wanted to do a project about Uncle Jam's Army, about West Coast hip hop. And he's like, hey man, I'm with it, let's go. And we've been on the journey. We started in 2013, pretty much finished it in 2018. But I had iterations of the project done, and he was there all the way through. Sat down with Egyptian Lover, sat down with General Jeff, rest in peace to General Jeff. Yeah, he was the connector. He was the one that connected me with majority of the West Coast family, man. So hey, what's up, Janine, Yvonne, Jaguar, right? Auntie Leah, Yom J, Margie, Appreciate all y'all for being here. Golden Aries. Yes. Yeah, I just said, let me come on here real brief and show some love and let everybody know what's really going on. Because yeah, I mean, you know, when I first got the news, I was shocked and I was sad. Moffler, he called me and I was just like, yo, Moffler's an OG. If y'all don't know these people, man, I guess you really got to be tapped into the culture to really know who these people are. But Moffler's a member of Uncle Jam's Army, one of the original members of Uncle Jam's Army. In fact, let me pull up Uncle Jam's Army. Now, hold on. You know what? Let me just do this. Let me do this. We just gonna get right to it because I think people need to kind of see what I did for the good brother Dr. Funkenstein. The genesis of LA hip hop. DJ Dr. Funkenstein. I'm gonna play a few minutes of this and then I'm just gonna get up out of here. I just kind of wanted to just, like I said, essentially just show him some love and you know, just it ain't see, the way I deal with death, I don't look at it like, you know, I don't know. I don't look at death as like, oh, this is the end or whatever, because I'm under the belief, or let's just say knowing, that this isn't the end. At least this isn't the end for most of us. We move on. Even Yeshua said, you know, this isn't the real life. The next life is the real life. This is a test. And Dr. Funkenstein, he came in here and did what he needed to do. He had purpose. He knew his purpose, and he did it. He took care. When I linked up with him, you know, he was taking care of his moms. His mom's was pretty sick and sweet lady, and he took care of her. He, you know, drove her around. He was taking care of his mama, man. His dad passed away not long before. And he was just making sure that his mom was good. And then his mom ended up transitioning. And then he was doing this thing. And then he ended up getting sick. And yeah, you know how that goes. But he lived life. Dr. Funkenstein lived life, y'all. And there was essentially what I'm saying, though, is there's no, in my opinion, like, there's no death, there's no like end, there's just like, you know, the transition. That's why I said we're celebrating the life. This is a transition. I will definitely see that brother again. So at first I was sad, but then I'm like, yeah, well, he's not suffering no more. He's with his mom, he's with his pops, he's with Roger, he's over there with General Jeff, he's with all OGs. And yeah, in this project, man, I got a lot of people. And I'm glad I did it when I did it, because there's a lot of people in this project that passed on. And it's like, oh, man. General Jeff is one. You will see Greg Everett. He's one. He's in this project. Who else? The founder, the founder, the inventor of the pop lock or locking, Don Campbell, he's in here. He passed on. And rest in peace to the homie Cluso. There's an OG from LA, and he's the one that told Battle Cat, like, yo, Battle Cat, you got to come to this screening of this film. He's, you know, and you know, Battle Cat showed up, and you know, shout out to Battle Cat. But I got a lot of people on this project. Let me just play a little bit, just to let y'all kind of see what it is that I had did. And I'll do a little commentary of it too. All right, y'all. So yeah, this is not a sad occasion. This is a celebration, y'all. Let's get to it.
One station under a groove.
Get yours now while they last.
Get details from your record store or listen to the radio.
One station under a groove. WEFUNK We Funk Radio, playing that old school R&B, soul, and funk. We Funk Radio.
What's going on, everybody? DJ Dr Funkenstein here from Uncle Jam's Army, and we're about to give you one hellified ride aboard the Holy Mothership. Now, this is about on how the West Coast got their hands on hip-hop. Yeah, we already know it rides from the East, but it's set from the West. You feel me? But right now, we're going to go to my homeboy, Black Dot, and he's going to start it off and let you know what's jumping off when it comes to that hip-hop culture. Hey, I'll get back with you in a minute. I'm aboard the Holy Mothership in the lab, y'all. See y'all in a few.
Yeah. So here we got Dr. Funkenstein.
My name is the Black Dot.
Passing it off to Black Dot. Shout out to Black Dot.
From its ancient origins to its modern day matrix. I was born in the Boogie Down Bronx, 3 blocks from Cedar Park where hip hop started, and 3 blocks away from 1520 where Herc started it all. And as a young man, as a young child, I was able to go to these jams in the park and watch this magic take place between these brothers and sisters who were bringing this energy to the streets and to the world called hip-hop. Now, remember, back in the 70s, New York looked like a bomb had been dropped on it, especially in the Boogie Down Bronx. It looked like Vietnam, shattered buildings everywhere and things of that nature. Police corruption, crime everywhere. So what we did was, and they took the music out of the classrooms. All right, music is innate within us. Music is spiritual. We need music like we need water and food. So once they took them out of the classrooms, we had to create a new form of music called hip hop. So we put cardboard down and we would dance. Or we got spray paint cans when they wouldn't let us draw on their canvases, and we went and painted the cities. When they took the drum away from us, and the drum is critical. Even on slave plantations, they would ban that drum because when we began to play that drum, slave masters' heads was rolling in the field. So we found a new creative way to suspend the breakbeat between 2 turntables. You know what I mean? And the oracle, the MC, the speaker was been around for years. We called it the dozens. People was doing that, and the last poets. But when we added a certain rhythm to it, we added a certain so-called swag to it, the convergence of these elements became what we call today hip-hop. Now, just the MC, we call that rap, but all the elements together is hip-hop culture.
Of course, hip-hop is a culture. And if I was to define hip-hop using what Bambaataa Zulu Nation gave us, using what the founding fathers of hip-hop has given us, along with what Minister Server taught us from KRS-One's camp, the tipple of hip-hop. Minister Server says hip-hop is higher infinite power healing our people. Higher infinite power healing our people.
Hip-hop is ancient, hip-hop is antique, hip-hop is expansive, hip-hop is exponential. Hip-hop is more than just the 4 elements. It's culture, it's our essence, it's the manifestation of energy. As long as we've been here, hip-hop has been here.
Yeah.
I was since the first day I heard it. Loved everything, how it was worded. Connect, they seen it in the park. I'm supposed to be home by dark.
The 4 major elements of hip-hop are graffiti, MCing, DJing, and b-boying, or dance. The Bronx made it happen. DJ Lovebug Starsky coined the term hip-hop, and the creation of the culture came out of the Bronx block parties in the 1970s. But the genesis of the movement really started on the West.
Now, out here in the West Coast, our timeline starts at a different point. Our first element of hip-hop is dance, and it starts at Trade Tech College in 1969. When a guy named Don Campbell invents a dance called Lock.
Don Campbell and Dr. Funkenstein.
The elements of hip-hop have always existed. So when we look at the b-boy and the many different aspects of the b-boy, we know that b-boying has been taking place here in Los Angeles long before 1973.
When he invents that dance, things start to snowball that creates this big party scene out here that's composed of street dance, DJs, party promoters, rocking the mic, and all this stuff that was associated with hip hop. Only we didn't know that some guys in New York we're now at this point calling this thing hip hop.
Thought travels at 24 billion miles per second. So when we doing something, our brothers on the West are mimicking, and what they're doing, we're mimicking.
But we start to get information when people's relatives from back east come to visit us out here. We start to find out about this thing called hip hop, and then pretty soon they're showing it on That's Incredible and other national TV shows. And then we look at these guys out here and these women out here doing this thing called hip hop. And the first thing that we think when we find out what it really is, oh, they're doing the same thing we're doing.
In the late 1960s, 70s, and 80s, Los Angeles was the place to be. Land of the funk, the flashy, flicks, black exploitation films, and black power. It was the end of the civil rights era. There was white flight, that large-scale migration of people of Anglo descent leaving the urban areas to the safer suburbs. LA was changing, becoming more diverse, and the LA party scene was on fire.
At this particular time in the early mid-70s and into the early 80s, people in various communities were kind of rebelling against the norm when it came to music and what they wanted to hear and what they wanted to do as young people.
Everything was set off by the DJs. The kids were moving and grooving to punk, funk, soul, and even disco. Teens on the West Coast danced to disco-influenced electronic music, later to be called electro hop.
Yep.
Hip-hop emerged as a direct response to the popularity of disco music. The earliest hip-hop was mainly based on James Brown and funk loops. Then, disco instrumental tracks became the basis of most hip-hop music. They began calling it disco rap. Now, Black Dot said it best. Hip-hop isn't just music. Hip-hop is a culture. It's organic. And it has substance. Naturally, the younger generation gravitated to it. As the newer generations came along,
Abstract Rude, I'm tripping.
helped with the decline of disco. There were many party promoting crews back in the day.
We had Lonzo, we had the Wrecking Crew.
We had Z-Cars.
We also had Bay 5 Side out of Westchester.
We had Party Line Promotions.
Only person that was out there doing stuff for teenagers was John Carter, JC Productions.
JC2 started the promotion business.
In 75, 76, it became LSD.
And we had all these other cliques that tried to,
There were several crews trying to do different things.
It was just a whole lot of smaller cliques back then. I'm not even going to use the term clique. I'm going to say crews that we were all trying to get the club scene going.
The ones who got the recognition were the ones who threw the best dances.
We all were promoters. That was the hustle of the day. Everybody passed out flyers. Everybody hired a DJ, got a room, passed out flyers, did their thing.
But there was one standout clique that became the most infamous crew on the West Side.
The OG West Coast Freestyle Star and
Uncle Jam's Army.
1974, Roger Clayton, a young entrepreneur from Los Angeles, started a party promoting crew with his friends. The crew was called the Nighttime Players.
Roger Clayton is one of the founding members of Uncle Jam's Army.
Like I said before, Uncle Jam's Army was just a spin-off from Unique Entertainment, spin-off from Nighttime Players.
Rodney, Charles Wood, and Roger had this thing they was doing called the Nighttime Players.
The Nighttime Players threw parties and events for high schoolers in and around Harbor City, a suburb of Los Angeles. Before the Nighttime Players, Roger Clayton was a DJ for LSD. He worked for an event for LSD and got paid with a bad check. And that check made Roger become very, very creative with his business. Roger started his own thing and declared war on all party promoters in Los Angeles.
We all started in 1974, changed members, changed names during the course of the 70s.
I really became a part of Uncle Jam's Army. The way that I got introduced to Roger Clayton, his sister, Adrian, and my sister went to high school together.
How it all started with me was that in 77, I was in the 10th grade at Northbound High.
Roger lived in Harbor City where we went to school at Northbound High School.
Roger and Gid was getting ready to leave Northbound. Rodney and Mr. Charles Woods, they were going to Westchester.
Let's go around the corner to visit other friends, and he was there. We got together and started, doing house parties.
Roger started throwing house parties.
Then we went from house parties. What happened was I was just kind of home from the military for break. I was at home, having my breakfast. I was sitting at the table, and the phone rang. And it was him. He said, I said, hello? Hey, Charles, is Roger. What you doing? I'm creating some breakfast. I'm gonna ask him to see if it's okay. So ask what you want to ask me. I want to start doing dances. I said, well, what's wrong with house parties? Because they don't pay no money. Big money's in house and dances.
The house party went to the garage party.
I said, okay, what we want to do? We're going to keep the same name? He said, no, we're going to change the name. So change the name to what? I don't know. You got any ideas? I said, nope.
Time was going by, and
so I got a name. I said, what's your name?
It was Unique Dreams Entertainment.
I got quiet. He said, is that okay? Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine.
In 1977, Roger Clayton created Unique Dreams Entertainment with Gid Martin, Charles Woods, Charmaine and Charlene, myself, Dr. Funkenstein, Bleeps, a.k.a. the infamous Sir Jam, Dr. Rock, Rodney Garner. Roger Clayton called himself the Ace of Dreams, then Mr. Prince.
Yeah, what's your name going to be? I said, if your name is Ace of Dreams, I can be Misty.
I'm DJ Dr. Funkenstein of Unique Dreams Entertainment in Uncle Jam's Army. I started in 1977.
I was a behind the scene kind of person.
Us being first ladies, I think we added a lot of influence, brought in a lot of versatile.
I handled the people, I handled the crowd flow, I handled the money, I distributed flyers.
I can draw the flyers. Back then I was an artist. I draw the flyers. So I do the flyers, and we're doing a trial run. So we had our first party was at the Hawaiian Gardens in the rec center.
Me, myself, I didn't like working the front. I wanted to be on the floor, dance, getting the people into the groove of the music.
Rodney kept telling me about, they was giving dances, went to a few of their house parties, and they wanted me to join in.
Word of mouth, getting, venues ready, just getting it all set up.
Nice turnout. We weren't satisfied with that. He said we do more promotion, get our name out there a little harder. It's okay, no problem with that. But I know it would take money. He worked at a record shop, we were making that much money, but he was feeling this dream and this passion getting around music. But he had a vision.
You had to take it out of your backyard. You had to take it out of your basements. You needed a bigger venue to bring people together. And everybody came together pretty much as a collective and just had a really good time.
We started off to where we wanted to give dances to where people could have fun.
Run to do on weekends, the football games, and after a while it gets kind of, when that's over with, then, what you're going to do after the games. Yeah. Usually start off with an after party from the games. And on Fridays, and that's how the house party started.
People were partying, that was good. I went up on the DJ booth, not too many people up there messing up the flow because I know that DJs have to have their space. I remember Roger, Bobcat did a little bit.
On the turntable, that was Roger Clayton, Bleeps, the good Dr. Funkenstein. They did that.
Rodney came to me. Rodney said, yo, Dad, Roger was asking me to ask you, man, we need your help. I kept putting it off, but when that third time came, that last time, all of a sudden Rodney said, yo, Dad, this is the last time Roger told me to ask you this. He said he really do need you, and he want to know, can you come up to Sojourner Truth with me Saturday night at that time? Went back to Rodney, and I said, all right, man, what all do I have to do? Rodney said, well, first, got to let you, talk to Roger. So he said, get your best dress on, and we rolling out that following Saturday.
The clothing was basic. It was basic.
Everybody was wearing 501 jeans.
501s, chucks, t-shirts, button down.
They still wearing naturals back then. The girls still wearing cornrows. We were also wearing the barber jackets.
If you were going to a club, you wore a button down, some slack, Stacy's, something of that nature.
Ace Juice matched on the side. That was Crip style. That was my thing.
He said he wanted a Crip.
You want respect, you got respect.
Our pants were fitting. Doesn't hang up your butt. You have to be sharp in your biscuits and your denim and your pressed out t-shirts. You press, gotta have creases in them. And back then, parties were more dressy and who can dress the best type of thing. As opposed to now, they don't give a damn.
So we rolled.
They sure don't.
And all of a sudden, we've come up to Sojourner Truth. And it was a lie, okay? And I'm like, man, is this what y'all doing? Rodney said, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm walking through people and everything, and I see a few folks from the neighborhood. All of a sudden, as soon as I get into the dance floor area, it was packed to the T. When I walked in, Roger was playing Get Off Your Ass and Jam by Funkadelic. Everybody was partying, okay? I see Roger, and he was in this like cafeteria area, and all I seen was one Marantz receiver. That's right, you heard me, I said Marantz. One Garage turntable, and two Marantz speakers. Roger looked up and he was like, hey, Dave, what's up, man? Man, you made it, man. Yo, man, come on in the back, man, come on. So I'm watching Roger DJ. Is he doing this on one turntable? So what he did was this. Remember back in the day when your sister used to give a party at the house and you had one of those stereo component sets along with the TV, and you open up the top of it and you had the arm and you stick the 45s on the little needle? Roger had that on his garage turntable. So he had the albums instead of 45s, and then the rest of them he had them on the side of the turntable. As soon as the record is over with, he'll snatch the needle off that record. If it drops, he will know exactly where to put it for the next song with no, mess ups and everything. I mean, he did it precise, and people were still dancing. I'm sitting back going, oh, now this is what I'm talking about, and people was jamming. Now, we didn't even have a microphone. Yeah, you had the house. Okay, I'm serious. That was the beginning of me with Unique Dreams Entertainment. Unique Dreams mainly played funk and disco records at their functions. But when Sugar Hill Records released their first rap record in 1979, they started playing hip-hop. That same year, Unique Dreams Entertainment changed their name to Uncle Jam's Army, the name inspired by the Funkadelic album, Uncle Jam Wants You. And when it became Uncle Jam's Army, everybody all over knew who we were. And especially when it came to giving a dance, when it came to our radio shows and stuff like that, passing out flyers, people would even know it before we even, give it to them. They already know. So, man, we already know we coming.
Back in the 70s, the very first back Alpine Village.
DJ, Pop Locker, what I mean?
Rest in peace.
Army is where it was at.
General Jeff.
My sister, Stephanie, was telling me about Uncle Jam's Army.
Way back in 79.
He was working the door, getting tickets and everything. Back, and those were the days.
And I said, what is Uncle Jam's Army?
Your mama was dropping you off at the club.
She's like, no, come, everybody goes. It's a big dance,
They became the major party promoters in Los Angeles.
What I heard of Uncle Jam's Army and these kind of groups, that particular sound, didn't stop me from partying and dancing.
We walked off in there, and I had never in my life seen that many kids there for DJs.
You rolling? Uncle Jam's Army.
I'd had to be like 8,000 or 9,000 kids, and it was DJs.
I remember all the good things. I remember Egyptian Lovers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Egypt, yeah.
Thank you, man. Great for coming through. Man, appreciate it, my bro.
Yes.
He know it. How did you start coming to?
All right. Yo, I'm going to end it there for now. If y'all want to watch the rest of it, it's on my channel. Just look up Set in the West, the Genesis of LA Hip Hop. And that's the original version. And again, I will be not premiering because it's already out there, but I'll be showing this documentary at the Compton Film Festival, September 6th, 2 p.m. I got my time pushed back. So if y'all want to come out and check out the whole film there, you can watch it there. And we'll do a Q&A and all that. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to document this. This is Dr. Funkenstein's project for the most part. It's a lot about his life and all that, and him being at Uncle Jam's Army. Oh, excuse me, yo. And his time with Uncle Jam's Army. And people don't know, I used to be at the function. I was too young, but I used to be at Uncle Jam's Army. In fact, somebody like, oh, we found this picture of you when you was at Uncle Jam's Army. And yeah, that's that was me at the Uncle Jam's Army, man. I came through. I was already repping, like, I was like, okay, everybody dressed up. Let me put on my crown, and let me put on my glasses, and let me show out. Let me show y'all how to do it. So yeah, I was only like 2 months old, but yeah, I was there. Funny thing is Dr. Funkenstein, I met him when I got out of high school and I started working for a company called Totally Secure, and we used to do the security for like the Unity. And if you're from LA, you know the Unity. It was like a hip hop spot where first time I remember seeing Capadonna, RZA, and some other Woo cats for $5 at the Red Dragon in downtown LA, 1997. And shout out to Bigger B. He was the one that used to run the Unity. So Dr. Funkenstein worked for that company when we did security, and he was, I think, he was my supervisor. He was my boss, and he was working there or whatever. So yeah, that was like the first time I met him in like 98 or whatever. Then years later, run into him at a radio, and that's when we linked up or whatever. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Dr. Funkenstein. If y'all want to, give the OG an honor, just go check out that documentary, Set in the West. It's a snapshot of, his life and, what he did. And yeah, man, they did great things. Roger and the whole crew from Uncle Jam's Army, they did some good things. Let's move off into the end, because I think this was hilarious. I think I was in a car with Dr. Funkenstein on our way to a venue. Actually, it was a reunion. And yeah, I'll end it with this here.
During my time from 77 to 1985, when I left, the game had changed big time. We gave 2 dances at the sports arena. The first one, if you ask me, it should be in the Guinness Book of World Records when it comes to one night for a couple of hours and you have over 10,000 people on the dance floor. Right now, we're about to do a photo shoot here at the one, the only, where we made history, Uncle Jam's Army, that is, with 10,000 people on the dance floor. Play Sports Arena. We're getting ready to tear this bad boy down, so we got to come up here and take some photos because it is history.
They tore down this.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good, man. Yo, everybody, check this out, man. See, this is a man I haven't seen since in the 80s, all right? It's been a long time.
I'm about to take it way back. It's a super exclusive. This man right here is one of my first all-time, role models. Y'all don't understand in terms of everything I've done in hip-hop. It started out with me idolizing this brother right here.
Wow.
One of our security guards that been to all our dances. A man, Lamont, tell him about Roger and how we was doing it at Uncle Jam's Army.
Oh, man, the first time ever a black man ever came and sold the sports arena out on a dance. Uncle Jam Army just took over.
I always bow down to this brother right here. First generation Uncle Jam's Army, second generation Uncle Jam's Army. We even got 3 generations Uncle Jam's Army.
That's right.
Biggest party promoters in the history of the world. America, y'all don't know, worldwide.
Now at around this time, we had new recruits coming left and right. The new ones were Silky D, DJ Kit Kat of the Cali Cat crew, Greg Brouchard, the Egyptian Lover.
People would come from as far as the UK to see trust me on that one.
DJ Bobcat and DJ Battle Cat.
Bobcat said, let's start another crew called the California Cat Crew. So it was me, him, and Battle Cat. We was going around, people was knowing our name. Then we go to Reseda. We had Wildcat, Scratch Cat. It was just all kind of cats started popping up, and California Cat Crew was out.
You know what was so unique about all the different DJs? We wasn't allowed to play the same records, and we had to have a unique style. We couldn't copy each other's exact same style. The big one was when all the local promoters, Z-Car, Disco Construction. LSD.
Right.
Somebody else though.
It's y'all.
And us. You need to
Okay.
Right. We all got together as young black men. Young black men. And agreed on something, and it was successful.
But wait, because I was helping collect money at the door, and then all of a sudden, I remember at the LA Convention Center, the marshal was there, and the marshal was talking about we're gonna shut it down, and I kind of was ear hustling. I heard it talking about we got to shut it down. At that point, we went to the lines, and it's like, come on in, whatever you got in your hands is good.
Thanks to Jordan Clayton for letting us borrow his houses. All those
Roger's father. Roger charged the quarter to get in.
Okay.
We lived in that neighborhood too.
Right. So
I started hanging out with Roger on 17. 34 years. You knew him before that.
Yeah.
Charles is always there.
Yeah. I'm always right here, man. We're do a new project. Well, that's what the top was. We started doing our own radio takes on the radio for our nationals in our own voices for background music. That was unique. Well, nobody else was doing that. So now we on the radio doing flyers and posters. All of a sudden, boom! One day we go to Alpine Village. Once that we maxed that place out, that's all she wrote.
The leverage then was $2,500. Now it was a union house. I can't let y'all see the picture. It was a union house, so we paid a lot on the back end. But we leveraged in here because they were having so many problems. And we had to have a bigger place. It was the perfect marriage. Wasn't it? It was the perfect marriage. I mean, Long Beach really said, we like you guys, we just can't have you guys share. Coliseum, same thing.
We did Alpha Village, Long Beach State. We did Sports Arena. We did Pasadena Civic.
Darryl Pierce, call me Big Dad, LA Posse. Started with Uncle Jam's Army. Learned the art of street promotion.
He's the one that brought
Probably more than anything.
LL to LA.
I'm surprised, and the flyers and cars out today.
Just putting it all together with Gibbs and Roger, and
we knew it was going to get the minute, just like when we got the name of the we knew it was going to be a hit.
One of our key elements is that me and Dwayne were partners at Right Side. We were the first ones to go to New York and actually get signed to Def Jam Records with an artist we had by the name of Breeze. So we helped bridge that gap between East Coast and West Coast music.
But it all started with an idea and no knowledge on how to do it. We taught ourselves through failure.
I grew allegiance to the flag of Unique Dreams Entertainment and Uncle Jam's Army, and to the republic for which it stands. We are one nation under a groove, indivisible with the liberty to funk for all. God bless Chocolate City and its vanilla suburbs.
Yeah, memory of Roger Clayton, and also on the memory of Uncle Jam's Army, first generation DJ Dr Funkenstein. So Uncle Jam's Army Day is October 10th in LA. And also brought the Eve After Dark back. Funkenstein was still DJing. In fact, this was the Uncle Jam's Army Day. We was back there with Ice-T. And that's Moffler and Funkenstein. Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to go out like this. So.
When I'm at the party, all the girls start coming. Tell my mellows in the back blowing weed like a trumpet. Pouring out liquor to the homies like it's nothing. With a pistol in my head in case I gotta start dumping. Face hitting, yeah, that there something. It's a hood thing, but everybody dressing like a club. Yeah, I got it jumping like Jack with these raps. And I keep the dice skipping like a CD that's scratched. There's a lot of things that need to be in discussion. I think these little niggas might need a reintroduction. So when they start to talking and they girls start to come and I'ma pull this, yeah, he had a whole party running like. It's a party, y'all. It's gonna be a party, y'all. Party, y'all. Yeah, it's a party, y'all. And this is
right, y'all. Rest in peace to DJ Dr Funkenstein. We're going to celebrate his life and keep it pushing. I'm going to keep it going with Setting West Part 2. We get into that gangster shit next time. Peace.